So hello everyone, this is your Krishna from Women Today YouTube channel. So in this channel, we have been interviewing many women entrepreneurs and working women across different cities in India. We are just traveling to different cities. We are doing offline interviews across different cities, and we are also conducting online interviews across different cities and also across different countries in the world. So today's our guest is from Vancouver, and her name is ARPITA JAIN. She is Akashic record healer and also a numerologist in Canada right now. So I welcome you, Arpita Jain ma'am, to this Women Today YouTube channel. So please kindly introduce about yourself, about the kind of work that you're doing to the audience who are watching this interview right now, ma'am.
Sure. Thank you for having me, obviously, and giving me this opportunity to share my experience and work with everyone. I'm a numerologist and a 5D Akashic Records reader who focuses on, helping people gain clarity in their relationship, career, finances, and life directions by understanding their personal energy patterns. And basically I combine the spiritual insights with the practical remedies so that people can make grounded and real time experiences and real time decisions and not just feel inspired. I started my spiritual learning, I think, an year back, which turned into practice, and the practice turned into a calling. I realized how much peace and fulfillment this works give me. Seeing people leave the session with calmness, understanding, and directions, it does give me a lot of satisfaction. So, yes, I've been doing that for a while now.
So that's a great introduction. So also tell us about your specializations, about your certifications. You're also a numerologist and also an Akashic recorder. So we just wanted to know about the specializations, the areas in which people can approach you, and also tell us about your learnings, about your certifications, so that it will be having a greater knowledge, like we can know about it now.
Yeah, so basically, my journey began through my own personal experiences when I went through my health issues, where I felt like a chronic back pain, and I wanted to understand the deeper reasoning of it, not just the upper surface and the logic. And this search for clarity led me to the occult science, where I started learning Reiki, and then I got introduced to numerology, and now I'm practicing Akashic records. So what started with self-learning, became hands-on practice for me and eventually a calling for me. I am currently certified in Reiki. I'm a Reiki practitioner, numerologist, and a 5D Akashic records reader. So I keep continuing to, expand my spiritual journey, my knowledge through regular practice, through new learnings, through new classes, and also by doing some client work. And this ongoing learning, I believe for me, spiritual work is a continuous journey of growth. So, when you work more with the clients, when you do more of the learning, when you do more of practices, that's how you grow spiritually. So, this is what I've been involved in.
So also there is a different term called occult science. So tell us about your journey in occult science. And before that, tell us about the meaning behind this occult science, ma'am.
Occult science is actually a vast, it's an umbrella where a lot of other spiritual work falls. It doesn't have to be, numerology and Akashic reading only. There are a lot of other things that people do. People do crystal healing, people do past life regression, and basically occult science starts from the spiritual science, and which has different divisions. Under the different divisions, as I mentioned, that there are other sciences like past life regression, Akashic records, Reiki, numerology, astrology. All these things fall under the occult science, and there's always a spiritual calling that person hears and leads towards these things, especially when the person is going through a difficult phase in their life, and they want to awaken their self. That's how a person gets introduced to occult science. Yeah.
So as you said, occult science is something like a big umbrella under which each and every category falls, like numerologist, kind of Akashic, soul reading, and other kind of things. So also tell us, ma'am, each and every soul, of course, we are a human and we are different in just one simple thing. Of course, we do have the same kind of physical bodies. But the thing is that each and every physical body will be having different individual souls. So at
Yeah.
this point of time, each soul which is born in this world has some kind of purpose for which
Mm.
it has been born. It has some kind of duties which it has to be fulfilled. And also at the same time, our life decisions. Of course, at some point of time, we will be totally, we actually don't know where to focus our career on. What work
Mhm.
should we do in order to make our soul fulfilled? Because consider even a person is not making a lot of money, but at that
Yeah.
point of time, maybe his or her soul will be fulfilled because they
Yeah.
do their duties correctly. But at one point of time, maybe some persons are even millionaires or billionaires, but
Yeah.
they're not doing their duty which is intended to do in this world, because that's why they have been born. So at this point of time, they'll be like totally confused what to do. What I have everything in my life, but I am not fulfilled in my soul. And also at the same time, people will be like totally confused, like how to actually make good life decisions, because there is a lot of, before 10 to 20 years there was less opportunities, but right now there is a lot of opportunities right in front of us. So to those
Yeah.
people who actually want to know about clear life decisions, and also about, they also wanted to kind of focus with their soul kind of purpose for which they have been born in this world, tell us how does this numerology actually will help them guide the correct kind of life decisions, ma'am?
Sure. Uh, Numerology is based on the numbers entirely. It's the vibration of those numbers, and then every number is linked with a planet. For example, your name is made of certain letters, and every letter is symbolized with number, which is ruled by a planet. So, because we repeat our names on a daily basis, it becomes like a mantra. It works like a mantra on you, and it creates a vibration around us. This vibration influences a personality, a behavior, and even our career patterns, health patterns. So what happens is, other than the name, your date of birth also has certain numbers, which uh, you know reveals or decodes your strength, challenges, karmic lessons, and certain future milestones, and also a soul lesson that you're here to learn in this lifetime. So when we study the name and the date of birth, collectively, we get a clear picture of a person's life journey from childhood to to the future periods, till their 60s and beyond that. So it helps a person understand what is happening with them right now, what may happen in the future, in short. And it's also a tool for the self awareness, to understand yourself better, make your real life decisions, work on your health accordingly. So, these things give you a guidance, that what should be your next step, and where is the life leading you towards, and just to have peace in your life, what should you be doing? There's always one thing that gives happiness and peace to a soul. So we have a number that we recognize through the name, which helps people understand, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do, and this is what gives me happiness. So numerology is a tool, which it's like a SWOT analysis, where you're able to identify the strength of a person, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And threats could be like karmic patterns in your life. So yes, this is how a person can understand their life journey through numerology, and also work on their practical remedies to have a smoother life.
So yeah, also tell us about the career, about the love life kind of relationships, about the conflicts which we can actually kind of eradicate with the help of this numerology kind of things. So tell us about it, ma'am.
Uh, so I also do a relationship compatibility reading, and what we do in that case is we look at both the couple's chart, look at their name vibration, look at their date of birth. How are they aligning with each other? How are the charts aligning with each other? It's very important to have the date of birth alignment of the couples. uh, there are also certain relationship number in chart, for example like 246, which is a good number for relationship. If you're missing that, you really have to work on your relationship. You need to have that understanding and patience and tolerance to handle certain behavior patterns of your partner. And if a person has a karmic number in relationship, uh, that makes the situation a little difficult. And the reason they are getting a karmic number 16 is that they were not loyal in their relationship in the past life, or they were dominant. So they're here to understand that lesson, and basically apply it in your current relationship and grow from it. This is how you release the karmic pattern related to relationship. But there are different numbers. So for example, when we talk about the leadership, money, and success, we, the date of birth like 1, 3, 6, and 9, it gives you a lot of support in terms of finances. And as I mentioned, relationship, it's 2, 4, 6. When there is a karmic debt or a master number, things can get complicated. Now, let's talk about the master number, which are 11, 22, 33. The master number is like there. It's like a number of God. These people are blessed. They're the spiritual messengers of God, but it also comes with the trials and tribulation. These people need to understand that they are blessed, and they also need to understand that when they are basically spiritually awakened, and they become mindful about the spirituality, how things can smoothen for them. Things become a learning and a blessing for them. These people are the spiritual blessing. They can guide creativity, leadership, and personal growth. So yeah, there are a lot of factors and a lot of numbers which can affect a person's life. The numbers related to money, the numbers related to relationship, the numbers related to career. We also have a number which we calculate by adding the date plus month plus year, which is the life path number. Based on that, we identify which is the best suited career for a person, and that's how a person get clarity about their future plans or the future business. So this is how the planetary energy works in numerology, and it can influence your career, relationship, and other aspects, and health as well. With every number, there is health issues. So for example, if we talk about number 2, uh, a lot of number 2 people would have stomach related issues. Now, if we talk about number four usually don't have any health issues, but they experience lower back problems because they attract evil energy. So certain energies like that, help us identify person's health problems, their career problems, their relationship issues. So we identify their energies and provide them practical remedies. So this is how numerology works.
That's great. So also you are speaking that people who have number 2 in the birth chart, they'll be like
Yeah.
having kind of stomach issues. So
Yeah.
tell us, ma'am, it is like people who have the number, like consider if it's like only 2, or it's like 22, or it's like 20, or wherever this number 2 comes, like the 2 number comes in every 21, 22, 23, 24, everything, there's a 2 in that. So tell us, only
Yeah.
it should come as a single number, or wherever this 2 comes, they'll be having this kind of stomach issues, ma'am.
Honestly, wherever there's two present in the chart, that's where they start having problems. If they have this number 2 in their name or the date of birth, they will still have those issues. And when a 20 number comes in the chart, that amplifies the energy of that. So number 2 comes with a lot of emotional turmoil. These are the people who have this fear, phobia in their life, and when a 0 adds up to it, it amplifies the energy, so they become more fearful. They have this fear of taking risk. And when we talk about number 22, it is also a master number, but it also comes with certain health, back in like pros and cons. So definitely people who have 2 in their date of birth or their name will have certain problems related to stomach. uh, and if you're not able to identify those health patterns, then it might aggravate in the future, resulting in some serious health issues. So it's very important for us, or for the people, to get their numerology consultation to identify their patterns, their energetic patterns, and work on it accordingly. Because my personal way of working is to provide practical remedies so that people can work towards it easily. uh, for me, information is a remedy. So if you know what's happening with you, then you can work on it accordingly.
So that's a wonderful information. People can actually detect the kind of diseases with the help of the birth charts, with the kind of numbers.
Yeah.
Because I truly accept it, because I am a person born with this too, and I'm having this kind of problems. So that's why I'm just telling that, okay, whatever you're telling right now is 100% absolutely right. So also tell us, ma'am, we were just talking about Akashic records. So people who doesn't have any kind of idea about Akashic records and the healings, what you're doing right now based on Akashic records. So tell us in a very simple manner by which one can understand the Akashic records, and tell us how do you actually help people take good life decisions with the help of the Akashic records of each and every individual who is born on this earth, man.
Right. Yeah. Akashic record is an energetic library of a soul. If I explain it in simpler words, then it's like a Google Drive or like iCloud on the phone, which has a lot of memory, which includes like files, documents, videos, and also the files which we have forgotten about. So when we access those files, like as an Akashic 5D Akashic record reader, when we access those files, we are able to pull those files which are dormant, which haven't been accessed for a long time, and people have forgotten about it. Uh, because it has gotten stored in the conscious, like subconscious mind. So when people come to me for a reading, they come for a guidance, they come for a clarity, and Akashic records are accessed through meditation and intention. They help us release certain patterns, trauma, and the the current situation that we're going through, our emotional habits. It connects us with our life purpose. Uh, it also basically reveals certain karmic patterns that we have carried in this life, the reason behind it, and how can we heal from those karmic patterns. So it's a very deep healing reading, and people who comes for a reading, they leave the session with a lot of clarity and direction in their life, when they know that this is what is happening in their life, and the reason for that is related to their past life. So it'll be easier for them to understand and work on it accordingly. So it's all about awareness. People come for a Akashic reading to get an energetic awareness that why is it happening in their life. So it focuses more on the energy rather than logic.
So yeah, energy actually decides what we are. Of course, people who are totally more energetic, they'll be like creating a positive vibration across the whole space wherever they are. And also speaking about, yeah, Akashic records are something like our soul is traveling from one physical body to the other physical body in each and every kind of life births. So with the help of our previous Akashic records, what are the kind of good karmas, kind of not good karmas which we have done, so it will influence us in this life. So by just taking the records of us, of our souls in the previous life, so we'll be able to kind of figure out by which one can eradicate and every kind of not good ones, and bring a success in present generation in this present life. That's a wonderful kind of thing that you're doing right now, ma'am. So also people consider, people mainly in Canada, like they'll be like totally different, and they'll be having a different way of thinking. They'll be like practical in the day-to-day life. So to those people, how do you actually help them balance the spiritual kind of growth with the practicality? Because we can understand that there is a science between every kind of spiritual life. But to those
Mhm.
people who actually do not know any kind of things in this subject, so they will be having a totally different kind of mindset. So tell us, how do you actually help them balance between the spiritual and the practical day-to-day life, ma'am?
So for me, it's very important to believe in spirituality, but spirituality goes hand in hand with the real life, and you cannot escape from the real life experiences. That's like running from from your real life situation. So spirituality is a personal journey of seeking purpose and meeting your higher self. It is separate from religion, but it includes practice like art, meditation, spending time in the nature. It doesn't have to be completely going into the meditation zone. It is something that you really like. Spirituality also awakens from doing something that you love. It could be something related to creativity. So I help clients understand what their soul desires. That's something very important that I focus on, because uh, for in their daily routine life, they're so stuck in their busy life that they're not able to understand what they truly love doing. So the soul number really helps us understand that this is something that will give them peace, and they work accordingly. Other than that, when a person comes to me for a numerology session, I always prefer providing them practical remedies and practical insights, because for me, information is a remedy itself. Practical remedies, something like, as I mentioned, meditation, which could include doing art or creativity stuff, or spending time in the nature, is a practical remedy for me. Or practical remedies could also includes wearing your lucky colors, being aware about your lucky dates. So when you know that this is your lucky date, you will just mark your calendar and schedule your important event accordingly. So this is what I call practical remedy. And in this busy life, it's difficult to balance both spirituality and your corporate world. But yes, when person receives the practical information from me, they're easily able to apply that in their daily life. Um, all you have to do is just stay connected with your inner self, and this is how you stay connected with the high with the God or the universe.
Yeah, to sum it up and to put it in a very simple manner, we can just tell one thing. Whenever we visit doctor, they'll be going through our past medical history, and with the help of that information, they'll be guiding us how we can actually protect our health. So in the
Yeah.
same way, whenever a person who is not having any kind of spiritual kind of understanding, whenever they do come to you, so you just understand the soul's purpose. You just understand the soul's what's happening over there. With the help of that information, you're able to process and give them by which one can actually easily achieve success in this life. I do understand, ma'am. So also there will be a lot of positive testimonials like success stories, whatever you wanted to tell kind of things to the audience, you can just tell, because there will be a lot of people expecting some kind of testimonials, some kind of good success stories by which they'll be able to have some kind of trust, and also they'll be excited to know these kind of stories. So tell us, please explain about it, ma'am.
Right. Uh, I would like to share one of my experiences where I was doing a relationship compatibility reading, where both the couples were going through a low point in their careers and finances. And for the compatibility reading, we do individual reading of both the partners' chart and help them understand that why are they experiencing these challenges in their life, and what past choices have they made that is influencing their current phase. So I guided them through their life patterns. Why are they going through this? And also revealed their patterns from their younger years up to their 50s, their future years, and highlighted how the future is going to be for them if they understood their pattern and worked on their patterns accordingly. For the women, we uncovered a karmic pattern in the relationship, emphasizing that they need to be patient and tolerant and be mindful of their connection. And for the man, it was important for him to have a control on his dominance and work on attracting abundance, and also working on creating compatibility in relationship. So while some aspects were not fully favorable for the partners, I still explain them that awareness is a remedy itself. When you know these patterns, they will help them. It will help them navigate things consciously. So yeah, so the detailed reading gave me a lot of gave them a lot of clarity about what's happening in their relationship life, what's happening in their individual life, how can they work on their relationship to grow in the future years, and how can they release their old patterns. So the information along with the practical remedies help them get a lot of clarity, and they are in a much better space following what I've advised them. And they have stepped into 2026 with a more aligned and subconscious, like smoother energy.
So yeah, of course, you can actually help people by getting a detailed kind of information from them, what's happening between the couple's life, by just consulting both of them individually. And once you get every kind of information, you will be able to create some kind of awareness. Of course, in the beginning of the conversation, you told me that, yeah, with the help of proper awareness, by just knowing the information, we can actually solve most of the problems. That's a great thing, ma'am. So also tell us, ma'am, there's a lot of people that you'll see in your day-to-day life meeting you in terms of coming and approaching a numerologist and Akashic record healer, but they'll be of different backgrounds. They'll be coming from different backgrounds. Of course, you're in Vancouver in Canada. They'll be having people around you. They'll be having a different culture, different kind of background, different life situations. They'll be having some people will be coming to you in a very positive mindset. They'll be very happy to excited to know about the future. And some people, they'll be like coming in a very kind of not good mode, and they'll be asking you, what can I do? What remedies can I sort out? So how does this numerology actually help you actually consult each and every individuals coming with this kind of different backgrounds and different life situations? So explain, how do you actually curate your sessions with these different individuals in your numerology kind of sessions, ma'am?
Right. So, every person carries a unique set of numbers that reveals their strength, opportunities, and life purpose. And I don't tailor consultation based on the client's background or belief. I just obviously have to be more empathetic based on their behavior, but we don't tailor consultation based on the client background, because numerology is specific to numbers, specific to the numbers of each individual. Every person has different name and a date of birth, which creates one of a kind chart. And by looking at the numbers a person carries, and basically we provide what are they carrying and what are they missing, and I can highlight their natural talents, their advantages in life and areas for growth. And this is how a person gains clarity and feel empowered when they get into a consultation, because people like to hear about themselves. They want to hear about their natural strength, their weaknesses, their patterns. At nowadays, people are becoming so much aware about the energy, about their karmic patterns, that they're keen to understand that what's happening, and how can I release those patterns by through the numerology consultation. So yeah, in the end, by looking at an individual's date of birth, their numbers, it's easy for me to create their chart and align their life purpose with confidence and positivity. Uh, when we talk about the belief system, people do come with a different belief system with me, but at the end, they would just want to know about their strength and challenges in their life. And that can only be revealed or decoded by the numbers that they're carrying in their chart.
So of course,
Yeah.
yeah, I understand that whenever a patient visits a doctor, the only thing they'll be going through that it's a good medical history. And in the same way, whenever a person is coming to you, you're just going through the numbers, which plays a very vital part in deciding what to do and not what to do in their life. So yeah, most of the people, they'll be coming to a numerologist because it is going as a trend for the many decades, like whenever they want to make sure that they have the correct name which is named after by their parents. So with the help of numerology, they'll be able to sort out if their name is good, if it has to be corrected or not. So to those persons, how do you actually help them change the names by which they can actually get some kind of good things happening in their life in the future? And tell us, how do you actually believe that changing their name according to the numerology can actually really help them bring success in their life? Explain about all these kind of process behind name changing as a numerologist, man.
Right. So what happens is, like as I mentioned in my previous answer, that name has certain letters, and every letter is linked with a number and a planet. And that becomes like a mantra for a person, because they hear their name on a daily basis. It works like a vibration around them. So if the vibration of the name is not good on them, it can create challenges in their life. And it is also important for a person to have alignment of the name with the date of birth, because these planets go hand in hand. The person will always have that name on them, like they will use it on the official documents. The person will always have the date of birth, because date of birth is like a blueprint from them. They're born with those numbers. But name is something that a person gets, when they're born. And in numerology, we advise that it's always good to have a name decided by the mother, because the mother is the one who gave birth to the child. She's more connected to that soul, so the vibration that comes from within the mother is more aligned for a child. So when a newborn is child, and people decide their name, it's good to consult a numerologist for a better alignment of their name and the date of birth. Because when the name and the date of birth are not aligned, it can create challenges. It can have disharmony between each other, and create challenges in their health, relationship, career, and also finances. Because as you also understand that energy and the planetary effects are very important. So when two planets are not friends to each other, for example, if the name planet and the date of birth planet are not friends to each other, they will have clashes. So it's important to have a name and the date of birth alignment. So, and obviously you cannot change the date of birth. So you can obviously change the date, the spelling of the name. So that's how people have understood this pattern, and they are preferring to change their name to have an alignment of their life.
Yeah,
If you
that's very
see,
great. That's very
yeah,
kind of good explanation. Of course, it can be even more put it in a very simple manner with a kind of example. Consider between two countries, if they have to make some kind of arrangement, some kind of agreements, only which they can be friends with each other is coming to a common term, common agreement by which kind of conflicts between two countries can be resolved, and with that one single agreement they'll be becoming a friendly nature towards each other. So in the
yeah,
same way, whenever a person does change their name, it's because to make sure that the two planets actually becomes friends with each other. So only then
right.
we'll be able to avoid some kind of clashes, and we'll be able to have some kind of success in life. So that's a very kind of good kind of thing that you actually explaining people, mainly to people who do not have any kind of belief systems in numerology. That's a kind of great
Yeah,
explanation. The planets, they have to be friendly with each other, only then we will be able to have some good vibrations whenever people call our names, because each and
yeah.
every people actually have some kind of different vibrations, and
Mhm.
when these vibrations actually doesn't work well, then it will not be giving some kind of good things in life. But if it has to work good, then we have to make sure that they actually align with the planets, with the
Right.
corresponding planets, making them friendly, via which as a result we'll be having some kind of good luck, prosperity, and success in our life. That's a great that's a great explanation from you, ma'am. So we have discussed a lot about numerology, akashic records, healing, and everything. So one last question for this interview is very simple, ma'am. So via this
Mhm.
interview, if you want to tell any kind of message to the people who are watching this interview? It may be to the kids, to the elderly people, to the middle-aged people. It may be to any age category. So tell us, what is it one particular message that you want to convey to the people via this interview right now, ma'am?
I'll just share one thing with the people that it doesn't have to be numerology or akashic reading, but it's very important for a person to understand their soul number and basically understand what their soul desire. Because if they don't understand what their soul desire, it'll be really difficult to enjoy the peace in their life. So do what your soul craves, do what your soul loves doing. It could be art, meditation, anything creative, or even going in the nature or going for a hike. So when you know that what is your soul desire, your life becomes really easy and smooth and peaceful. And obviously I'm here for everyone to provide numerology consultation, and I keep on saying that when you know the information, it becomes a learning, blessing, and a remedy in your life. So yeah, keep going.
That's a wonderful message. Of course, each and every soul born in this physical body in this world, they'll be having some kind of purpose. That's why they have been having a birth in this lifetime. So to those people who actually try to understand what's the soul purpose in this life and work accordingly, they'll be able to kind of having some kind of fulfillment in the soul, which will ultimately will lead them happiness. But to those who actually do not know what's the soul purpose, of course, people like you're a great numerologist right now, you're in Canada, Vancouver. So people who are watching this interview right now, if you have any kind of things that you wanted to ask regarding to a numerologist, our ARPITA JAIN ma'am is here in Canada. She is there to help you out. And people who wants to have some kind of true soul purpose, who wants to have some clarity in their life, they can approach ARPITA JAIN ma'am. She is always ready to help you out. I'll mention her Instagram link in the YouTube description right here. And please do subscribe to our channel. Please click on the bell icon so that you can receive notifications whenever I do post new videos regarding women entrepreneurs and working women across different cities in India and also across different countries in the world. So today's your host is Krishna, hosting this Women Today YouTube channel. So thank you, ARPITA JAIN ma'am, for giving me an amazing opportunity to host you via this interview. And today's our guest is from Vancouver, Canada, ARPITA JAIN ma'am, numerologist and also Akashic record holder. So thank you once again, ma'am. Good evening. Have a nice day, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.